Hello and welcome to Caroline's Library, where we dive into the world of manga, anime, and more. Today we are talking about a shonen series that gives off serious seinen vibes. That manga is Gokurakugai. So let's set the scene with a quick summary of Volume 1. The story starts in a working-class, seemingly lawless city full of humans, beastmen, and hybrids, where we meet our two main characters, Tao and Alma. And to the public, they are troubleshooters that can help you with whatever problem you've got. Well, if you can afford them. But they also work for a covert agency known as the Anti-Manga Organization, where they have a much more dangerous job as manga killers, tasked with hunting down and killing demon-like creatures that eat humans to survive. And the city is currently dealing with a variety of problems because of these monsters. Missing persons cases, murders, hangings, and it's up to our dynamic duo and their friends at HQ to clean up this mess. But things quickly get more complicated when they learn that the real threat isn't the troublesome manga that they've seen in the past. Now they face an even greater threat. Human-like, intelligent, and cunning manga with enhanced abilities that are completely indistinguishable from normal humans. Cool. So now that the scene is set, let's talk about the awesome parts of this manga series, starting with the characters. First up, we've got Alma, who may not be the brightest bulb, but what he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for with his earnest, brave, and caring personality. And at first, Alma is just a goofy, carefree teenager who helps to balance out Tao's calm, cool, and collected demeanor. But behind Alma's laid-back nature, he's got another side of himself. One that is determined, intense, and dangerous. Because Alma is not fully human. He's half manga. And because of his mixed blood, he is fully committed to keeping Tao's trust and fighting against the manga. All things considered, Alma gives off serious Yuji Itadori vibes from Jujutsu Kaisen. Next up, we've got Tao, a cool, capable, and confident sisterly figure to Alma. She may come off as cold or uncaring, but she is deeply protective of Alma, and when we learn about her backstory and discover the emotional weight that she's been carrying around, you start to understand and appreciate her personality and behavior. And honestly, I am so happy that this manga includes a mature and capable female lead. I really get sick of the incompetent, overly emotional damsels in distress that we see in so many manga series, so cheers to Yuto Sano for creating Tao. And lastly, I'll quickly cover my two favorite characters in the series so far, Ryu and Tatsuomi. Ryu is a bit of a crappy mentor. He's indifferent, easily annoyed, and sick of dealing with kids like Alma. But despite his standoffish personality, he is a powerful fighter and a capable, if unconventional teacher who helps Alma and others to reach their full potential. As for Tatsuomi, he is sort of the fun uncle of the group, and he instantly reminded me of Kisuke Urahara from Bleach. Tatsuomi has a cheerful, playful personality, but he is clearly extremely intelligent and resourceful. He's the type of guy who makes you question if he's actually reliable, but he never fails to come through. And this crew of characters have become like a family and work together to fight back against the manga. But like I mentioned earlier, this is a gritty, crime-filled city where monsters aren't the only problems to deal with, and we experience some truly dark moments through character backstories and present-day issues. Fair warning, this story has a few scenes about rape, suicide, torture, and abuse. Like I said at the beginning, this shonen gives off serious seinen vibes. But alongside these grim moments, we have a truly fascinating storyline that gets more complex with each volume. And as we learn about the characters and what they've been through, the mysteries and suspense only grows as plot layers keep piling up. The author does a great job of giving each character their time in the spotlight, and of course there are still plenty of mysteries and reveals that we're waiting on, but that keeps the story interesting, especially as we're introduced to new characters throughout the series. Okay, so we have a battle-heavy manga in a gritty dark world with interesting characters, intense backstories, and a pile of mysteries. But now let's talk about the downside of this manga, starting with the first handful of chapters. The first few volumes of this series are extremely fast-paced and battle-heavy, with very little character exploration. And what we do see seems very similar to Chainsaw Man. So there's manga coming out of the woodwork, battles every second, and overused character types that fail to make a lasting impression. So while it's entertaining, it sort of feels like a recycled battle manga that really needs to distinguish itself. Luckily, in Chapter 14, we finally have a gripping character moment and dive into our first true backstory with Tao, and that's when I really committed to this series, because Tao's cold exterior and professional-level poker face finally crack just a bit, as we are exposed to her past that helps to explain why she is the way she is today. And that exposure of raw emotion and vulnerability continues to resurface with each character as we experience their backstories. And honestly, I sincerely hope this author breaks free of the battle manga tropes and overused character types, and instead really leans into the character development and connections, because that's where Yuto Sano seems to thrive. That's where this manga starts to really shine, when the author leans into the gruesome aspects of the story that show why this group of emotionally scarred people are all together, why this found family exists in the first place. So if you're just getting started with this manga, it may take 4 volumes for you to really decide if it's for you. Alright, so to wrap this up, this series is entertaining with lots of potential that keeps getting better with each volume. There are dark, intense themes, a found family, and intriguing mysteries. If that's what you're looking for, or if you like stories like Dorohedoro, Jujutsu Kaisen, or Gachi Yakuta, I think you'll enjoy this series. But if you've read this manga, let me know what you think in the comments. All things considered, I really hope that this manga gets an anime adaptation when it has enough volumes to support a full season. Thanks for popping on to watch this review. Until next time, happy reading!